The inverted fullback, the defender who steals midfield. This role is the reason fullbacks stopped crossing and started running your entire match. Because the inverted fullback doesn't go wide, he goes inside, like he's breaking into your formation. Instead of overlapping down the wing, he drifts into midfield during build-up. Suddenly your team has an extra central player. Suddenly the opponent's press is pressing air. It's simple. Step inside, create an overload, control the ball, kill the counter. Pep turned it into a global disease with Lahm and later Cancelo, and now everyone copies it like it's free money. It works because it gives you control without sacrificing numbers. You keep width with wingers, you keep security with a back three shape, and you suffocate teams slowly. But the dark side is obvious. Lose the ball and your right back is standing next to your number 6 like he forgot where he lives. One clean switch and the wing is open like a supermarket aisle. And once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. Because the next role is even worse. It's a midfielder who doesn't play midfield. The half-space 8. The player who lives between dimensions. Some players don't stand in the middle. They don't stay wide. They haunt that little corridor between both, the half space, like it owes them money. This is the modern number 8, the half-space operator. He receives on the turn, links the attack, and appears in the box like a late-arriving horror villain. The idea is simple. Occupy the half-space, become the extra man, create triangles everywhere. City do it, Arsenal do it, Madrid do it. Everyone does it because it turns your attack into a moving maze. Think De Bruyne arriving at the perfect time. Think Bellingham drifting into scoring zones like he's magnetized to danger. Think Gundogan showing up in the box and casually ending seasons. It works because it breaks marking logic. Fullbacks don't want to step inside, center backs don't want to leave the line, midfielders can't track forever, but it comes with a cost. If your half-space 8 loses the ball, you're exposed centrally, and now the opponent is running straight through the most expensive area of the pitch. It's elegant, it's deadly, it's modern football's favorite cheat code, and now we move to a role that basically exists to ruin your day. The pressing forward, the striker who hunts instead of scores. This guy isn't a striker, he's a heat-seeking missile with shin pads. The pressing forward doesn't measure his game in goals. He measures it in forced mistakes, panicked clearances, and center backs begging for halftime. He triggers the press. He angles his runs to block passes. He turns build-up into survival. The idea is simple. Press the first pass, force the second pass, kill the third pass. Klopp made it mainstream. Nagelsmann industrialized it. And now every modern striker is expected to defend like a fullback. Think prime Firmino turning the 9 role into a defensive mastermind. Think Haaland trying to do it and still looking like a robot learning empathy. Think Osimhen sprinting at defenders like he's chasing a stolen wallet. It works because it wins you possession high up the pitch. And possession near the box is basically a shortcut to goals. But the dark side is brutal. If your press is late by 1 second, you don't win the ball. You get played through. And now your striker is exhausted and your midfield is chasing ghosts. It's not glamorous, but it's how modern teams suffocate you without even touching the ball. And speaking of suffocation, here comes the role that controls everything without running. The deep-lying playmaker, the midfielder who deletes chaos. While everyone else is sprinting, pressing, flying into duels, this guy is standing still, deciding the match like he's holding a remote control. The deep-lying playmaker sits in front of the defense and dictates tempo. Not with speed, with timing. The idea is simple. Receive under pressure, turn once, and break a team with one pass. Rodri does it like a machine. Kroos did it like poetry. Jorginho does it like he's late for dinner. It looks slow, but it's actually violence with manners. It works because it gives structure. It calms the game, pulls opponents out, and makes your team play on your terms. But the dark side is terrifying. If your deep-lying playmaker gets marked out, your build-up dies. And if he loses the ball centrally, that's not a mistake. That's a goal conceded. This role is the reason some teams look calm even in chaos. And now we're going to the opposite, a role that creates chaos on purpose. The ball-playing center back, the defender who starts attacks. Modern center backs aren't just defending anymore, they're basically quarterbacks with better haircuts. The ball-playing center back doesn't just clear danger. He invites pressure, dribbles into midfield, and splits lines like he's offended by your press. The idea is simple. Beat the first line, force the midfield to collapse, create space behind them. Van Dijk does it with power. Saliba does it with calm. Stones does it by pretending he's a midfielder anyway. It works because it turns defense into attack instantly. If your center back can progress the ball, you don't need 12 passes to escape pressure. You need one. But the dark side is obvious. Lose the ball as a center back and it's not oops. It's one-on-one with the keeper. This role is basically confidence as a tactical concept. And if you think that's risky, wait until you meet the role that makes your keeper part of the system. The sweeper keeper, the goalkeeper who refuses to behave. Some goalkeepers save shots. Sweeper keepers erase space. This role is a goalkeeper who plays so high, you forget he's even allowed to do that. He comes off his line, intercepts through balls, and acts like an extra defender. The idea is simple. Push the line up, compress the pitch, and let the keeper clean up behind it. Neuer made it legendary. Ederson made it normal. Ter Stegen made it Barcelona's entire personality. It works because it lets you defend with fewer meters. Your team stays compact. The opponent has no room to breathe. Every long ball becomes a trap, but the dark side is pure comedy. One misread, one slip, one mistimed sprint, and your goalkeeper is 30 yards out while the ball rolls into an empty net. It's terrifying. It's modern, and it gets even stranger because the next role is a winger who doesn't play like a winger. The inside forward, the winger who wants to be a striker. Classic wingers used to cross. Modern wingers want blood. The inside forward starts wide, then cuts inside to shoot, combine, or basically become a second striker. He doesn't hug the touchline, and he attacks the box like it's personal. The idea is simple. Isolate the fullback, cut inside, shoot, or slip a runner through. Robin turned it into a meme. Salah turned it into a career. Vinicius turned it into chaos. It works because it's direct. You don't need to outpass a team for 90 minutes if you can create one mismatch and explode. But the dark side is that it can get predictable. If your inside forward keeps cutting inside, defenses start stacking the lane like traffic cones. And if he loses the ball high, your fullback is now defending a 2 versus 1. It's the role that made modern attacks look sharper and more violent. But now we go to the player who makes that violence possible, the role that does the dirty work. The holding midfielder, the human firewall. This is the player you only notice when he's missing, because his entire job is to stop your team from falling apart. The holding midfielder sits in front of the defense, blocks transitions, wins second balls, and covers everyone else's mistakes like he's paid per rescue. The idea is simple: protect the center, kill counters, recycle possession. Makelele defined it, Conte modernized it, Rodri turned it into a dictatorship. It works because it gives freedom to everyone else. Your fullbacks can roam, your 8s can attack, your center backs can step out, because someone is always there to clean up the mess. But the dark side is that it's exhausting. If your 6 gets dragged wide, your middle opens. If he's late to a duel, the entire team looks exposed. This role isn't glamorous. It's just the reason your team survives modern football. And now, we get to the role that modern football almost killed, but somehow brought back. The false 9, the striker who vanishes. A false 9 is the funniest tactical prank ever. You think you're marking a striker, and he disappears into midfield like a magician. Instead of staying up front, he drops deep, drags defenders with him, and creates space for runners to attack the box. The idea is simple: remove the reference point, break the line, create chaos in the center. Messi under Pep made it famous, and defenders still have PTSD from that era. It works because it turns marking into a dilemma. If center backs follow, the line breaks. If they stay, the false 9 has time to turn and create. But the dark side is real. If you don't have runners, you don't have a threat. And then you're just passing the ball around with no one actually trying to score. It's genius when it clicks. It's pointless when it doesn't. And if you think that's weird, the next one is a role that exists purely to cause panic. The touchline winger, the width dealer. Not every winger wants to cut inside and become a striker. Some are there to stretch the pitch until it screams. The touchline winger stays wide, pins the fullback, and creates space for everyone else by doing the simplest thing in football: standing in the right place. The idea is simple. Hold width, force the defense to spread, open the half spaces. Think classic Sané at City. Think Doku isolating fullbacks. Think early Neymar before he became a central celebrity. It works because width creates decisions. Do you press inside and leave the wing open? Or do you cover wide and leave the middle exposed? But the dark side is that it can feel disconnected. If your team can't switch play fast, the winger becomes decoration. And if he's isolated with no support, he's just dribbling into a trap. It's simple, it's essential, it's brutally modern. And now, the final role is the one that ties all of this together. The box crasher, the midfielder who arrives like a plot twist. Some goals aren't scored by strikers. They're scored by midfielders who show up late, unmarked, and completely ruin your life. The box crasher is the player who times runs into the area when defenders are distracted. He doesn't live in the box, he visits it at the worst possible moment. The idea is simple. Arrive late, attack the cutback, finish before anyone reacts. Lampard was the original nightmare. Gundogan perfected it. Bellingham is currently turning it into a cheat code. It works because defenders mark what they can see. They watch the striker, they track the winger, they fight the obvious danger, and then the box crasher appears behind them like a jump scare. But the dark side is risk. If he goes forward and the team loses the ball, the midfield is empty, and now you're defending transitions with vibes. It's the role that turns possession into goals. And it's the reason modern football feels like it's played in waves instead of lines. Because that's what the modern game really is. Not formations, not numbers, not chalkboards. It's roles, jobs, specialists doing weird things in the right moments. And football doesn't evolve by staying normal. It evolves by letting smart people do dangerous things on purpose. So if any of these roles looked fake to you, don't worry, that just means they're working.